welcome back, or if you're new here, I'd say welcome to Lucky Abigail and Fox. And my routine has been kind of wonky lately, so that's why I've just mainly been posting edits because I needed a bit of a breather than, vlogs and stuff. So, yeah. But, anyways, Lucky is back. And as you can probably tell by the title, I am going to be telling you a story that takes place while Abigail and I and a couple other of my friends were swimming at a swimming pool. Now, this story takes place around late 2022 and going into early 2023. So it all started when my mom and I were talking about how we should start off that weekend in a fun way. And while my mom was giving me options of what we could do, my mom's first option was to go swimming. And immediately I was like, yeah, how about we do that? We haven't done that in a while. And then my mom asked me if I wanted to bring a couple of my friends, and I was like, really? And then she was like, yeah. And then I was obviously going to say yes because why not? Then my mom suggested we'd bring Whitney and Tameen, who are also YouTubers. And then I said, yeah, I haven't hung out with them in a while, so why not? Let's do this. And then my mom asked me if it would be a good idea to also include Abigail, and I was like, yeah, of course, why not? This is going to be a fun day. By the way, this is a picture of the exact day, so yeah. So as we arrived at the swimming pool, obviously we took off our shoes, and then we went into the change room and changed, and then we just had fun. We just played around in all the pools, and then my mom decided that she wanted to go into the hot tub, which means she asked Whitney, Tameen, and I to just play with Abigail until she came back, and she told us that she was watching us from in the hot tub because the hot tub wasn't that far away. But after a few minutes of my mom being in the hot tub, this lifeguard came up to us and was like, where's the adult you're with? Like, are you guys here alone? Then we were like, oh, no, don't worry. We actually have an adult here with us. But since that didn't seem convincing enough to the lifeguard, I stepped in and said, oh, so my mom, she just said she was going into the hot tub, but she's watching us. Don't worry. Why are you asking? So then the lifeguard looked at Abigail and started asking her questions like, sweetie, can I see your wrist? And then Abigail tried to play dumb and then be like, oh, which one? And then the lifeguard was like, the one that looks like you're wearing a bracelet or something. And then Abigail ran out of ideas because she didn't want to get in trouble. So her last idea was to just hide underwater until the lifeguard leaves. Like, what? And then I was like, Abigail, you need to get up right now. And then she was like, what? This woman thinks I can't swim. And then I said, well, that woman is a lifeguard who is getting concerned. So you need to show her your wrist this instant, or I'm going to ask my mom to leave. The lifeguard was like, I'm only asking because if a child has a wristband on, it means they have to be supervised by a responsible adult. But then my mom came back and asked, what's going on? Thank God you're here. Can you please watch your little girl? And as the lifeguard walked away, Abigail was like, she called me an infant. An infant! But obviously, we had fun the rest without getting in trouble with the lifeguards. And obviously, the lifeguard was probably just trying to keep us safe and doing her job, so we can't judge that. And we have to follow the rules when we need it, even if we do make mistakes. But if you make a mistake, it's important to learn from it. So yeah. Oh, and don't forget to purchase Cushing the Spirit Animals. And I hope you have a good, wonderful rest of your day.